Hello and welcome back to April May Codes. This is the second installment in my Round 2 Valley series, where I am attempting a second time to create a Stardew Valley-inspired game with Pygame. In this episode, I'm going to work on making a create character screen. It's not going to be much, just a space for your name and a space for your farm name. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to go ahead and go to states and make a new state. And I'll call this, I'll call it create.py. Make a class create, which is a state, init, take self and game and name. We'll do state.init, take self, game, name. Should it be a menu? No, because I'm not going to need the cursor. It's just going to be click to type your stuff. I do need to install. We'll go to packages, Pygame widgets. So while that's installing, I'll go ahead and import what we need to import. So let's import Pygame. Import Pygame underscore widgets. And then we're going to do from Pygame widgets dot text box, import text box. And let's see, we'll import config and, oops, just config. From game.states.state, import state. All right. Now I don't need an image for this because the background's just going to be that pink color. So we need self dot, we'll say farm name is equal to a text box. And we're going to say self.game.screen for the surface. Let's make it a menu so we have the mid width and mid height values. We'll do menu dot init self and game. All right, where to position this one? Let's say self dot mid width and then self dot mid height minus 100. And then width will be 400, height will be 80. Font size will be 50. What else? We need a border color, which I'm going to set to gray. So I'm going to go to config and add my gray color. And that's going to be 199, 200, 201. All right, border color equals config.gray. Oh, okay. Config.gray for the border color. And then we're going to do the text color config.black. And I actually need to do self.font is equal to pygame.font.capital F font. Asset slash font slash Stardew Valley.ttf. and size is 50. All right, then after text color, we'll do color config.white, radius is 10, border thickness is 5, and font is self.font. Okay, now I'm going to copy this. Oops. Paste it there, and we're going to call this player name. And then we'll say self.farm text is equal to self.font.render farm name, true, config.black, self.player text is equal to self.font.render player name. Okay. All right, so we got those on there. Now we need rec, but where do I want to position everything? Oh, I need to position this differently. Let's say mid height, I don't know, plus 100. Or what if I do, no. Yeah, I'll just play around with those values in a bit. So self.farm rect is equal to actually, we'll just say mid height. And then I'm going to do farm rect is equal to self.farm text.get rect. And we're going to put the center equal to self.mid width minus 100. Self.mid, let's see, this is farm. So we'll say mid height minus 100. So it's at the same. Oh, that's not going to work because I don't think these are the center values. I think it's the top left. I think. I wonder if I can, let me look at the documentation for the text box real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, I don't think that the text box has the like center and right and top right attributes, I guess, that Rex have. So I can't position it next to it in that way. But I think what I can do, because I think these are the top right or top left positions for the text boxes. So if I put the top right equal to those values, so self.midwidth and then self.midheight minus 100, and then self.player rect is equal to self.player text.get rect, and we'll put the top right equal to, and what's that one? Self.midwidth, self.midheight, and I'm probably going to want to change these a bit so it's more centered, but we'll see. Let's just see if this works. All right, and then I need I guess I need a start button. So we'll do self.start is equal to self.font.render start true, config.black self.start rect is equal to self.start.getRect, and we're going to put the center equal to self.midWidth, and then self.midHeight plus 250, I guess. And we'll see how that looks. Okay, I think those are all the elements that we need. So let's go ahead and make a render function. We're going to do surface.fill and fig.pink. Let's do like a title. Let's say self.large font is equal to pygame.font.capital F font. And size is 100. And then we'll say self.create text is equal to self.large font.render. Create your farm. Or I guess you're creating your farm and character. Who would say create your farm? True. And config.black self.create rect is equal to self.create text.get rect, and the center is going to be self.midWidth and then we'll say the size is 100, so we'll say 60. Center is at 60, so that should be good. So we got surface.fill config.pink. We'll do surface.blitz with an S, and then a list of tuples. We'll do self.create text, self.create rect, self.farm text, self.farm rect, self.player text, self.player rect. Let's put that on the next line. And then I think that's it. Oh, no, start. And self.start. I call it just start? Okay. And then self.start rect. Okay. And then we need to get our text boxes on the screen. And we do that by calling, what did I call them? Farm text and player text? No. Farm name and player name. So self.farmName.draw and self.playerName.draw. All right, we'll give it an update function. And we'll just pass for now. And then let's go to, where do we want to go to? We want to go to title. And instead of printing new game, we're going to do game.create equals create self.game create character. And then self.game.create.enter state. Let's import create. And we'll paste this for if we hit enter on new game. All right, let's see how terrible this looks. Oh, what is going on? No module named config and create. Do I need to from game import config? Let's try that. I need to import menu. Now let's try it. Third time's a charm. There we go. Click new game. Oh, that looks all right. Create your farm name, player name. And, oh, we can't type anything because we aren't updating. But the start button's at the bottom. I think this could be a little bit bigger. I'm going to make that like 75 and see how that looks. So let's see. We'll go to font, make it 75, and see what that looks like. Yeah, that is perfect. I love that. All right. Okay, so now in our update function, we need to do some things. We're going to say events is equal to pygame.event.get. And then we're going to do pygame widgets dot update and pass in events. And then we're going to say we need pause. Pause is equal to pygame.mouse.getPause. And we're going to say if self.startRect.collidePointPause. No, that's not what we want to do. We're going to do for event in events. And first we're going to check if event.type is equal to pygame.quit so that we can close the game if we need to. We'll do self.game.running, self.game.playing equal to false, false. And then if event.type is equal to pygame.mouse button down, if event.button equals 1, so if the left mouse is clicked, if self.start startRect dot collide point pause. So if we've clicked, if the mouse collides with the start button, but we only want to do something if there is text in the farm name and the player name. So we'll check if self dot farm name dot get text is not equal to an empty string, and self dot player name dot get text is not equal to an empty string. So if there's something in both of those boxes, then we're going to do something. Do an F string, and we'll say self dot farm name dot get text farm created for self.playername.getText. We'll just print that. All right, let's see if that works. Moving this over a bit, we'll go to new game. Farm name is Astoria. Oh, it's a bit, I should make the text box a bit bigger, wider. Player name is April May. And start. Oh. Oh, I need to do, I think I need to call this. Let's try that. Stop and rerun. Oops. Can't do tab. Astoria Farm created for April May. All right, that is working. Now let's make the text boxes a little bit taller so that the text is kind of centered in there. So let's go to farm name and player name, and we want the height, let's say 100. And see if that's too big. It feels like it would be too big, but I guess it looks all right. Yeah, that is perfect. All right, I've got the create your farm page set up. In the next video, I'll start creating the actual farm and the player, or we'll focus on just the player to get them on the screen and everything. And then we'll go from there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.